Alright, what is going on, folks? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, SimplyPops here. Today I'm going to be comparing the iPad 2, not the Air 2, the iPad 2, the original OG, versus the iPad Pro 9.7, and this is the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. Yeah, so we're going to be comparing it. These iPads are currently off right now, and we're going to just do a simple boot up test. Now, I don't have no fancy setup. I'm not like everything Apple Pro where you flip the switch and everything turns on. I don't have none of that. So we're going to just be doing it the old fashioned way. We're going to hold these two buttons, right? Maybe with one finger like this, right? 3, 2, 1, boot up. Okay, we are off. Did the iPad 2 boot? You know what? We all know the iPad 2 is slow. God damn it. Now this shit booting. Oh my god. We're not going to do boot up tests. Very, very rare we boot up iPad, but I did booted these two at the same time. The iPad Pro 12.9 inch booted up faster. We all know this is going to take longer, so I'm not even going to waste my time too much with that one. But this iPad here is actually running iOS 9. If everybody got 10 big iPads. Alright, so this is running iOS 9.2. This is running iOS 10.1.1. And this is running iOS 9.3.3. So this is actually the older firmware compared to the iPad 2, which is pretty hilarious if you ask me. Why is this one not dying? Yo, guys, you see the little glitches on iOS? Jesus Christ. I love the iPad 2 and all, but it's so disappointing to see this thing perform so slow and glitchy like that. Alright, so 3, 2, 1. Here's the App Store. Okay, they all off. iPad Pro 12.9 inch launched up faster. iPad 2 just now launched up. But it's not too much of a big difference between these two here. They both have the same amount of gigahertz, but the RAM management on this one had 4 gigs of RAM, and this one only have 2 gigs of RAM. So it's not really a disappointment. This one could probably hold more apps in the background, while this one's probably going to refresh. But performance-wise, they should be similar. Alright, so, and this one, I think this one only had 1 gigahertz, or 512 megabytes of RAM. So the RAM is not really all that great on that one. So let's launch up the calendar app. This is a very, very lightweight app too. You know what's crazy, guys? This is the maximum brightness right now, and you guys can see, I would say the smaller iPad is the brightest. You guys probably can't even see that on camera. They all maximum brightness right now. And just looking at it, you guys can clearly see this one is just slightly brighter in my opinion. The iPad 2 is just dull. Look how dull. It's like it's on half brightness. Okay, I'm going to just do one at a time. Let's compare these two real quick. Okay, here's the camera app. 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same, I would say. I'm going to have to pull back the video. Start a camera on the iPad 2 versus the Pro. Yeah, there's no comparison, guys. There's really no comparison. Alright, so enough of the speed test. We all know these two right here is really where we should really do the performance. Let's try Safari. Yeah, about the same. I try to look up the benchmark scores because I don't have the benchmark app on here, but the benchmark score is actually higher on the iPad Pro 12.9 inch compared to the 9.7 inch. I try to look up some vitamins. I'm trying to get big, trying to increase my muscle mass. Okay, they about the same though, and that's the thing why a lot of people probably buy this iPad here, is maybe because of the size. So alright guys, I am back with the same exact video. I want to make this a fair comparison. I actually had this iPad here on the charger. Portable battery charger is on 2%, so I have to plug that up. And we're going to test out the speakers, man. Which one is louder? Alright. We're going to start off with the good old iPad 2. This iPad used to be a beast. Alright, this is max volume. I don't know about you guys, but I think the iPad Pro 9.7 inch is a little bit louder in my opinion. I don't know. I'm at to put them side by side for a second. Yeah, so 9-day difference. So let's look at the camera, man. That's one more thing we gotta look at. The camera. We're gonna take a picture of this wonderful, beautiful Ingress Power Cube. Starting with the iPad 2. A little bit fuzzy. You can't really see the details. It's really, really bad on the iPad 2. I think the front facing is a VGA camera. It's not even HD. But the rear camera is 720p. Let's try the iPad Pro. Let's try the iPad Pro camera. Now, I'm actually charging using this Ingress Power Cube. Hey, this iPad is massive. That's one of the reasons why I like this iPad Pro. Oh, wait, what did I do? Did it shut down? What? That's one of the main problems with the iPad Pro. The battery life can suck even if it's on the charger. Alright, so we're gonna compare and look at the picture quality. The picture difference is night and day. Like, look at that, man. It's a big difference. Huge difference. But overall, since that iPad is dead, it's no comparison. No matter what, if you come from an iPad 2, this is obviously the upgrade for you. This thing do have Apple Pencil support as well as this one. They both iPad Pros. But if I had to pick between the iPad Pro 12.9 versus the 9.7, that would be a hard decision. But it just depends on what would you do. If you're going to take your iPad a lot with you. Oh, there we go right now. If you're taking your iPad a lot with you, then portability wise, they both portable. But obviously this one is going to be a little bit more heavy. For the size of it, the weight is not too much. I like the smaller one because, well, I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro already. And it just doesn't make sense to have the iPad Pro 12.9-inch. You know, why go through all that, you know? In terms of thickness, if it can focus, these things are so thin that it's hard to really focus. Officially, I would say the iPad Pro 9.7 inch is thinner. The iPad Pro 12.9 inch is a little bit thicker, but it's not too far off. I would say it's a centimeter thicker. Now, comparing that to the iPad 2, let's put this one to the side. Alright, you guys can clearly see the iPad Pro 9.7 inch is clear thinner. Now, it's not thin by that much though. That's the crazy part. So, no matter what, Apple will always make things thinner. This iPad has a basically the same specs as the iPhone 6s. So the camera is good. This one have the Retina flash, live photos, while this one here, it doesn't have the Retina flash and it doesn't have live photos. But 9 times out of 10 it's gonna come in the iPad Pro 2, 8 megapixel, basically very, very similar to the iPad Air 2. And I like how the camera is flushed in there. It doesn't hump up. And you guys can see this is gold. We have the colors. This here is rose gold. It's really hard to really make out the rose gold, but you can clearly see this one here is rose gold. And this one here is gold. So rose gold and gold. And this one here is just black. There's no switch on the side. Apple decided to get rid of that. It makes sense. I don't use the switch on my iPad, but I actually use the switch a lot on my phone. So hopefully they don't get rid of that on the iPhone 8 next year. These buttons here are aluminum compared to the iPad 2. Those are like plastic. Both of these obviously have the smart connector. This one doesn't. And yeah, it's a night and day difference. So hopefully you guys enjoy the comparison. I tried my best here. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy. And comment down below what iPad you have. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple kill off the mini series. The mini is cool, but you may as well just get this one. It's not too big. This one here is massive. Hopefully they don't call this one the mini. I don't know. I'm done.